How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review, and it is Imperial Milk Stout, bourbon barrel aged Imperial Milk Stout, in the form of Stone Brewing's Xocoveza Charred. Really excited to give this beer a whirl. Last year, when Xocoveza came out in their series they do, the collab series with the home brewers that they do, and Small Brewer is probably my favorite one of that series they've ever done. So to hear that it was coming out in the barrel-aged version, I was kind of chomping at the bit until I found out it was semi-limited. Supposedly it was limited, and then all of a sudden it started popping up at bottle shops in and around this area at a kind of butthole pucker and price point, which is kind of the crappiest part, but sometimes you just say, screw it, and pick one up. So here we go. As far as what it says on the bottle, 2015 series Xocoveza Charred. Let's see, batch number 7. Stone Xocoveza Mocha Stout. Ale brewed with cocoa, coffee, spices, and aged in bourbon barrels. 500 milliliter bottle, not a 750. On the back here we have Xocoveza Charred, aged in bourbon barrels. The base beer is the recipe of 2014 Stone Homebrew Competition winner Chris Banker, an intensely flavorful milk stout brewed with cocoa, coffee, and spices to mimic the flavors of Mexican hot chocolate. Bunch of ingredients, which I don't want to read. Let's see. Unfiltered and aged 3 months in American oak Kentucky bourbon barrels. 3 months, not all that long. Let's see. 10% ABV. Off the top of my brain, I want to say Xocoveza was around 8%. I have a bottle of that floating around here. Right here. Let's see what this says. 8.1%. So you're looking at a 2% bump in ABV. And then we said down here, cellar notes. Time spent in bourbon barrel gave an already complex beer even more complexity. The flavor and flavor intensity, layering additional caramel-like flavor of vanilla flavors on top of those already present. Aromas of rich coffee and dark chocolate are followed by nutmeg and cinnamon. A lush, heavy mouthfeel laden with charred oak and toffee engulfs the palate of the first sip. Lingering Pasilla pepper and soft oak flavors persist through the exceptionally long finish and intensely rich and satisfying beer. That's that. Label-wise, it's fucking awesome. It's fucking screen-printed fucking awesomeness. I don't know if the screen print got fucked up. I don't think it is. I think they meant to make it look all the hops and everything kind of sketchy. Because the bottom part here is clean as fuck, so I don't think it was a screen print issue. I just think they know what the hell they're doing with their bottles, because Stone's bottle designs are some of the best, I think, in the industry, especially in the screen printing format, which I'm a big whore for. So, yeah. Let's pop the cap on this sucker, peel the cap back on this sucker, and see what she has to offer. Let's see. I didn't think she was going to come out there for a second, but she came out. They always do. So let's see. Looks familiar. A bit darker, I think, on the pour. I mean, we're still going based on memory. Holy shit, I kind of threw that in there a little bit hard. Being bourbon barrel aged, was expecting it not to have a huge head on it to begin with, so that's my fault. Ended up with 2 fingers. What I like my coffee to look like colored had infinite creaminess to it, subtly defying gravity. Pretty compact bubbles till you get about that way from the top, then it kind of gets a little neurotic, and it's dark. I mean, red with brown, hint of honey kind of color to it. So let's see if I can fight a nose to this goddamn fucker. So, wow, you're still getting those chilies in there. I'm getting that nice kind of chilliness. Definite chocolate. Not getting a ton of barrel or char in it, but I mean, this is a gigantic head. Yeah, it's mostly chocolate, chilies. It smells like a milk chocolate mixed with like a chocolate syrup, like 2 kind of chocolates going on. Maybe a little bit of vanilla. Those chilies are there, nice pepperiness. So that's pretty much it. Really not getting a ton of barrel on the nose. But again, like I said, fighting through a gigantor head on this one. So let's just dive in, drink it, see what she has to offer. Cheers. It's a good beer. getting vanilla now. Chili's building up. The initial taste is really not much there. This is right around, let's say 50 degrees, 55 degrees, so it's not super cold either. This beer is all about after you swallow it, letting flavors kind of build and develop. Not getting a ton of barrel in there. Subtle smoky char, maybe that vanilla that's coming from the barrel. Not really getting much bourbon, if anything, from it. That chili heat, like I said, is there in the nose and it's there in the mouth, especially after you swallow. But it's not as cool and as playful, I guess you would say, as the original. This is it's good. I enjoy it. I like it. But this is the textbook of sometimes barrel aging a beer isn't the best thing in the world for the beer. And I think that's kind of where this kind of ended up. There's a lot of subtle flavors in Xocoveza. Impactful subtle, which is a fucking, you're like, wait a minute, impactfully subtle, fucking jumbo shrimp. The flavors are very distinct in the beer. But they're flavors that can be altered or can be lost quickly, and I think that's what happened with this barrel. In the original, again, based off memory, I was getting a lot more chili heat that was building, but it was capped. It had like a little compressor, excuse me, a limiter on it from that milk stout. The lactose in milk stout kind of like forced that chili heat to get to a certain point to where you thought it was going to kind of run amok, but then it just stopped, and that was one of the biggest reasons why I love that beer. This chili heat is a definite, you get it, but you don't feel like it's going to run away on you in any form or fashion. You're getting the kind of milk stouty lactoseness from the beer in here, but you're getting the chocolate, but not as bold and as big as you did with the original. You're getting cinnamon. Again, more muted than the original. And then what you are gaining isn't big enough to warrant the trade-off. You're getting that vanilla. You're getting a subtle bit of coconut. You're getting a super subtle bit of maybe smokiness from that char. Not necessarily char, but a subtle smokiness. That's pretty much it. So, I mean, where the flavors and the beer was here, and the barrel brought this here, but it brought it down to here. So while you gained from the barrel, I don't think you gained enough to warrant it being put in a barrel. And that's kind of, and it only was in there 3 months. So if they aged it a year, you'd have way more barrel character, but I think the beer would just get totally lost in there. So it's just, you know, classic tale of sometimes barrel aging a beer is not the best thing in the world. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better barrel aged beers I've had as of late? No. It's very tasty. I'm going to enjoy drinking it. It's delicious. But it just, I know what the base is, and I know how amazing the base is, and it's lost more than it's gained, so that's kind of a bummer. Would I buy it again? No. Especially at its value and price point, or availability and price point. Availability, I've seen it in a couple places now, so it can be got, but how much you get where you are is a crapshoot. Value, big 2.0 bottle for 500 milliliters. That sucks balls, man. I want it big. Without tasting it, I wanted this beer to be more in a 14, 15 range. Tasting now, I wish it was more around a 10. So that kind of sucks. And just leave it with, if you like what, will you like this? And this is something I think is worth it. The price point, maybe not, but worth it in general. If you like knowing what I said pretty much just before this, which is sometimes a beer isn't better off being barreled and you want to know why, have this. Especially if you've had the original, especially if you have maybe the newer one and you want to do it side by side to kind of see where they end up. It's a good lesson in sometimes, you know, barrel aging is better. You have all this new wave style of beers where people are just throwing everything into barrels and just to be like, yep, barrel age is better. Throw in a barrel, it's going to be awesome. It's not the case, and this is a prime example of that. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below and like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. If you want to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untappd, Massive Beers in all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice barrel-aged beer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.